Welcome to this explainer. So, how many hours of your life do you think you've spent just staring at loading pages? We've all seen them, hundreds of times, probably completely glossed over them without a second thought. But today, we're going to microscopically dissect one of the most common ones out there. We are going to reveal the massive, high-stakes cybersecurity battles happening in the literal blink of an eye, right there in plain sight.
Okay, let's dive into this incredibly familiar, kind of annoying phrase that acts as our gateway into a hidden world. Just a moment. It sounds so polite, doesn't it? Super casual, almost like the website is just taking a quick breath before showing you exactly what you want. But the reality of that brief pause, it is way more intense.
So, what is actually going on while you wait? We're going to stretch out those 3 to 5 seconds you spend staring at this text and unpack the forensic anatomy of what's happening under the hood. Because while you're just tapping your fingers, a highly sophisticated digital interrogation is taking place. You are essentially being patted down by an invisible digital bouncer before you're ever allowed to cross the threshold.
Section 1, the Just a Moment screen. Let's look at the exact text you hit when trying to reach a specific destination online, say elements.envato.com, for instance. Performing security verification. This seemingly simple sentence is a flat-out declaration. It's a notification that a high-speed, invisible security checkpoint has just been activated. The site isn't just taking its time loading. It has actively hit the brakes to evaluate you. You've basically been pulled out of the internet's fast lane and detoured right into a rigorous inspection station.
Section 2. Defining malicious bots.
To understand why this checkpoint even exists in the first place, we got to look at the exact threat it's fighting against. This right here defines our invisible enemy. We're talking about malicious bots. These aren't human beings casually browsing for creative assets. These are automated scripts, unfeeling pieces of code that the website has to urgently identify and block, and they are incredibly destructive. What do they actually do? Well, they might execute massive scraping attacks, essentially vacuuming up entire databases of copyrighted assets or pricing info in mere seconds. They might engage in credential stuffing, which is where they take millions of leaked passwords from the dark web and just rapid-fire test them against login pages to hijack real user accounts. Or they might just be attempting a DDoS attack, flooding the network with millions of fake requests until the servers literally buckle and crash. This is organized, automated digital crime operating at a massive scale.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that the screen is not a loading error. It's not a glitch. Actually, scratch that. It is the exact opposite of a glitch. It's not your Wi-Fi dropping and it's not a slow server. It is a deliberate, highly engineered defensive shield thrown up to protect the website from these automated threats. The website is openly telling you, hey, we are under constant bombardment and we use a specialized security service as our armor.
Section 3. How verification actually works. Let's see how this builds into an actual chronological process that separates a living, breathing human from a piece of malicious code. First, the site pauses your entry with that polite message. Second, it runs a rapid background interrogation of your browser. Third, it confirms the results, verifying your humanity based on that test. And finally, if you pass, it hands you off to the actual website. Now, keep in mind, this entire sequence happens in just milliseconds. It's completely imperceptible to us, but for a computer processing these complex checks, those milliseconds are an absolute eternity.
Section 4, JavaScript and cookies. Now we need to look at the exact weapons used in that split-second interrogation. Because, how do you mathematically prove someone is human that fast? It comes down to a brilliant two-pronged approach. On one side, we have JavaScript. The security service uses this as a computational pop quiz. It forces your browser to invisibly solve complex cryptographic math puzzles or render hidden graphics in the background. A real browser running on a real laptop does this instantly. But a cheap, lightweight bot script, which is built to use as little computing power as possible to attack fast, will completely fail or time out. On the other side, we have cookies. Think of this as a digital passport check. It looks at your session history. Does this connection have a track record of normal human behavior? Or did it just violently spawn into existence a microsecond ago with absolutely zero past? Together, they form an interrogation that bots simply do not have the resources or the behavioral history to fake.
If you don't have these enabled, the text explicitly warns you that the entire process just halts. Enable JavaScript and cookies to continue. It is an absolute barrier. This proves these are the non-negotiable tools used to filter out bad traffic.
If you strip away the ability to be interrogated, the site really has no choice but to default to blocking you. It is the single most effective way to drop the digital guillotine on bad actors without messing up the experience for real humans who naturally have these features running by default.
Section 5. Tracking with Ray IDs. But what happens if something goes wrong? Or what if the security service needs to log an interaction to study a brand new bot attack? Tucked away at the very bottom of the screen is this strange, highly specific alphanumeric string. It sits quietly right there beneath the message, almost completely ignored by the average user. So what exactly is a Ray ID? Well, this string serves as a unique forensic fingerprint for your specific split-second request. Every single time a connection hits that defensive shield, a brand new Ray ID is generated. It allows the security provider to track, trace, and troubleshoot the exact path your connection took through their massive global network. This is incredibly useful. Like, if a real user accidentally gets flagged as a bot and wrongfully blocked, they can give this exact ID to a support engineer. The engineer can then look at the logs, see exactly which invisible wire tripped the alarm, and fine-tune the system. It's a total game changer. Section 6. The Cloudflare Shield. Finally, we reach the architect behind this entire microscopic operation. This closing line acts as a signature at the bottom of the canvas. It reveals that the website isn't fighting this digital war alone. They are utilizing Cloudflare's huge global infrastructure to host the verification screen and process these intense security checks. And just to put the scale of this into perspective, Cloudflare is doing this heavy lifting for millions of websites, successfully blocking threats literally billions of times in a single day. They are the overarching muscle making sure lightning-fast performance and impenetrable security remain perfectly intact. To summarize the whole shebang, this tiny, unassuming 60-word page is really a complex, multi-layered defensive machine. It boldly intercepts your connection. It rigorously verifies your humanity using intense computational and historical checks. It blocks devastating malicious digital threats dead in their tracks. And it forensically tracks the whole process from start to finish. Best of all, it does absolutely all of this before the main website even begins to load. So the next time you're told to wait just a moment, are you going to just see a delay or the front line of an invisible cyber war? I really hope this explainer changes how you view these everyday security screens. It is truly fascinating when you realize the sheer massive scale of the automated threats out there and the brilliant split-second engineering required to keep the modern web functional. It kind of leaves you wondering, what other massive, intricate systems are hiding in plain sight behind just a few simple words? Thank you so much for joining me, and keep asking questions about the hidden world right in front of you.